Welcome back to Florida TRD. Today I'm going to be prepping and painting the Rci rock sliders with top plates in preparation for the Appalachian Toyota Roundup, as well as the next trip that we have in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Got them unpainted, obviously, as you can see. I do that because these things take a beating either way, whether it's on the trail or rocks on a road or something like that. The finish gets chipped and beat up anyways, so why not just finish them in a nice flat black, and then it's easy to touch up. Couple tips for you guys. I would definitely recommend, once you take it out of the box, prep it. And what I mean by prep it is get you some of this. Which is a body prep for if you were getting ready to paint a car or something like that. You can also use it to remove tar and other things, but I'm going to use it just for this exact reason. If you give a quick swipe, you can see this thing is nasty. If I can get it to focus, there we go. And that's all good. I don't expect it to be silky smooth and clean straight out of the box. So take your time, give yourself a few minutes to wipe everything down and make everything nice and clean and perfect. And then we're going to prime it, and then we're going to paint it, and then we'll do the other side, and then we'll install them both at once. So stay tuned, guys. This is going to be awesome. Also, don't forget that when you're handling the slider, anything that you've hit with body prep solvent, make sure that you wear gloves. We do that because we don't want the oils on our skin to go onto the metal after we just spent all this time wiping it down and making it, nice and clean. Just something I wanted to bring to your attention. And then also we have some, I don't know if the camera will be able to focus on that. There we go. So you see how there's some, I don't know, debris or imperfection in the metal. You have two choices. There's some more up here. Over by Rci. So you got a couple options. You can either use a Scour Pad. And what I mean by Scour Pad is you can get the green Scotch-Brite ones, or you can get the blue no scratch ones, or you can just run over it with primer, which is what I planned on doing, and it'll give everything a nice uniform finish if you put it on correctly. So up to you what you want to do, but also at the same time these things are going to get beat up. But when I'm running my finger over it, I don't really feel any texture, so it may just be something that is just on the surface but not actually like etched or anything like that. So primer will cover that up with no issue, but just something I wanted to bring to your attention. So gloves, no oil on the part, so that way you get a perfect finish. All right guys, real quick before I start painting the top side, one thing I wanted to let you guys know is my technique for how I paint these. With the primer and the paint, the technique is all exactly the same. I do it in my garage with only one door open, the smaller door, and leave the bigger door closed. So I only open the smaller door just to allow a little bit of air to go in and out. So the technique is as follows. All I do is very, 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 very light coats. I mean, I'm barely touching this thing. The first couple coats, it's just a big old mess because there's barely any coverage. I do that for multiple reasons. A, it prevents runs. B, it also allows the paint that you put on there to dry very fast. So even though I'm not in like a perfectly sealed environment, what little bit of dirt or debris may be floating in the air, when it makes contact with this, it doesn't stick because the paint has basically already tacked up, so it doesn't have like a wet pool to sit in. So that's what I do, is multiple small coats. And I do have the overhead lights on in here, so then I can see what areas are really damp as I'm spraying it. It allows me to get good even coverage, because with stuff like this, if you don't get good even coverage, you will have blotchy spots. And I mean, this is only after sitting for 5 hours, and it looks pretty smooth. The primer didn't go on as smooth, but it's a primer. I really don't give a shit. As long as it's not bunched up in certain areas, I really don't care. So let's go ahead and get this thing coated and rock and roll. So this is after 3 coats of Rust-Oleum flat black. It's been sitting for about 5 hours now, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it over to the other side that is still got the primer on it, so I can finish coating it and rock and roll. So real quick, I'm sure you guys have questions. Why did I just not get them powder coated straight from Rci, or get them raw and then send them out to be powder coated? Well, when I had my Jeep and I bought the bumpers and the sliders and everything else, I did all that. I either ordered it straight from the manufacturer of the part and got it powder coated from them, or got the part and took it somewhere to get it powder coated. Problem is that no matter what you coat it with, as soon as you hit the trail, it's gonna get scratched up, it's gonna get banged up. So touching it up when it's powder coated was a nightmare. Getting something that matched, it just didn't work out very well. And other companies, well, certain companies, sorry, will they will either have you click a box, I acknowledge that any damage to the powder coating during shipment is not on that manufacturer or something like that. So then if they ship it UPS, FedEx, or whatever, if it gets damaged, which most of our packages do come damaged, the boxes look like they were used for field goal kicking, they're not held responsible. So now you're spending this money for powder coating and it's trash right out of the box. So then you're still messing with it. So for me, this is the easiest option. You can get it raw metal, paint it whatever color you like. Obviously flat black is what I chose, and I think it is probably your best option. And then when it gets damaged, you know what you do? Say it gets damaged right here. All you'll have to do is hit it with a Scour Pad to clean that area up so you get good adhesion, and done, fixed, problem solved. There are other options. You can use those bed liners in a can or something like that. But for me, this is the easiest coating, and this stuff holds up pretty well. I don't think there's anything out there that works perfectly, that there's, zero complaints. There's always going to be something. But just wanted to share that with you guys so you guys can see exactly what it looks like with the 3 coats. And we'll continue on, get this job done. All right, so the Rci sliders are installed, painted, all that fancy stuff. Wanted to show them to you guys installed. Sorry they're a little dirty. It's been pouring down rain nonstop in Florida, so they're a little dirty, but super easy to install. All I did was use a motorcycle jack and then just jacked it up to get it up into spot on the frame, and I'll show you that spot here. All right, so as you guys can see, it just bolts into the factory holes for the factory running boards. That was one of the reasons I chose this kit. I know there's other kits out there that do that. It just makes it install super easy. You don't have to worry about it. I know there's other kits out there that use like large U-bolts. I didn't want to do anything like that when there's already these provisions there for hardware. So it makes install super easy. I am going to paint some of these. Actually, it's not some of these. I'm going to paint all of these black. I just need to back them out and put anti-seize on there. When I installed them, I was in a little bit of a hurry and I kind of forgot to anti-seize them. So I just need to back them out, put anti-seize on them, and then I'm going to run over them with some paint once it stops effing raining in Florida so I can allow the paint to cure properly. But those are the Rci sliders. If you guys have any questions, please post them up in the comments. And if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.